another video response to Hive Radical's video question for no on Prop 8 people. As far as I can say, it's just that to answer that question is that gender is irrelevant because as today's society now, it's like nobody really acts 100% male or 100% female for that matter. We have like tomboys. We have men who are like in touch with their feelings and stuff like that for that matter. But the thing is, I don't really quite understand what's the whole big deal with allowing gay people to get married if it makes your marriage be less valuable. Does it make you less of a person if I have the same rights as you do, just because I'm gay, or just because I have Asperger's syndrome, just because I'm a disabled person as well? Does that make you feel less of a person just because somebody else is different has the same rights which they're entitled to? Then maybe you just have some problems dealing with other people as far as that goes. Maybe there's something else that's wrong with you, I guess. You know, the whole keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing. So who cares about what the Joneses do? It's none of their business. I mean, it's none of your business for that matter. Just live and let live for that matter. You can choose to be blissfully ignorant about the whole gays are bad because of your whole Mormon beliefs and all that sort of stuff. But there are some churches that don't really have a problem with gays whatsoever, like the United Church of Christ or the Metropolitan Community Church or Unitarian Universalist Church for that matter. As far as I see goes, is that if we learn to step outside of your comfort zones and stuff and all that. But what I see from people like you just don't want to look outside of the comfort zone because you're afraid to put everything you've been taught, you've been grown up with, in question. Am I right on that, anything? Possibly. But whether or not if you're going to accept that sort of thing or acknowledge that thing, that's your choice. That I'm not the one who's going to go around and try to force it down on you to accept certain things. But the thing is, people on your side of the argument don't like the idea of being wrong for some reason. And somehow they always have to go around and waste their time and energy trying to prove to everyone that they're right and everyone else is wrong. I basically have no problem with being wrong sometimes because that's human nature. It's human nature to be wrong sometimes. But I say, for the record on that kind of issue, it's just that I urge both of my parents to vote no on Proposition 8 because, for me, for their own son, and for that matter is my parents have still been together for almost 40 years for that matter. And I don't think gay marriage is ever going to really make their marriage any less than now, as far as that goes. And it seems like maybe it's just what's really behind Prop 8 is hysteria, fear, and ignorance, and people who just don't want to look beyond their own comfort zones for that matter. You can choose to ignore my response as far as that goes, but apparently you're going to get a lot more people responses to to the point where it's going to wear you down until the point where you're going to eventually accept it to the point, you know, that you can't control people based on religious beliefs as far as that goes, based on your own little selfish desires, because you can't accept the fact that some people are different, for that matter. There are more than one things that I can't change of myself besides that I'm gay, besides that I have Asperger's syndrome, and this right here, my eye. Because I explained to people is that it's botched eye surgery, and when I was born, the pupil was off-centered, and they tried to fix it, and it didn't work. So I'm basically stuck with this kind of eye. Although I can still see out of this eye, but not as well as this eye. But I learned to accept that this is part of who I am, you know, and just as much as like being gay is part of who I am, you know, and but some people on your side of the argument are so hung over on the sexual aspect of it. I mean, does being straight is having sex? Nope. It's about falling in love. But apparently that's just something that's just one thing that's way over your heads, I guess.